Hello, friends, and welcome. Unitarian Universalists have many people who they admire for their ideas and the way they live their lives. We believe in valuing every being on our planet Earth and having compassion for all. I wonder what this could be. This is a true story about a young woman who loved the spirit of love and mystery in one tree so much that she did something very brave to protect it from being cut down. Once there was an ancient redwood tree named Luna. Luna was surrounded by other redwood trees. They lived in a grove or a tree family, and they were some of the very last ancient redwood trees in the United States. Luna and her tree family were over 1,000 years old. They were home to many animals, and their roots held the earth tightly during heavy rains so it would not wash away. One day, the Pacific Lumber Company bought the land that Luna and her tree family stood on. They planned to cut Luna and her entire family down. This is called clear cutting. The lumber company would sell the wood to other companies who made paper and building supplies. A young woman named Julia Butterfly Hill heard about this. Julia was 23 years old. She was looking for and trying to get closer to the mystery that some people call God. Julia had spent a lot of time in the redwood groves. The first time Julia ever entered a redwood grove, she felt very close to the mystery there. Julia loved the redwood trees so much, she knew she had to do something about the lumber companies cutting them down. One day, Julia climbed up into Luna's branches and refused to come down until the lumber company agreed not to cut Luna down. Julia lived on a small platform made from scrap wood. The roof and walls were made out of tarps. The platform was very high up in Luna's branches, but she was not afraid of falling because she was very careful when she climbed around. She cooked with a single burner camping stove and got water for drinking, cooking, and keeping clean by collecting rainwater. She used a bucket to go to the bathroom and slept in a sleeping bag. Julia had friends that would bring her supplies like food and batteries. Julia would lower a basket down and her friends would fill it up with supplies and she would pull it back up. Living in Luna was not always fun. She was yelled at a lot by the loggers who wanted to cut the tree down. She was very high up in Luna during a lot of really bad storms. She was cold and wet most of the time. The loggers were still cutting down trees. She felt very sad as she saw many of the redwoods surrounding Luna crash to the ground. When Julia started to feel discouraged and scared, she would climb Luna's strong branches and hold on to the tree. She would pray and speak to the tree. Sometimes she felt like Luna even talked back to her and gave her strength and courage. Julia lived in Luna for 2 years. She was not only saving Luna from being cut down, but she was also getting a lot of attention from newspapers and television reporters. Julia used a cell phone to talk to newspaper reporters and let as many people know as she could about what was happening to the ancient redwood forests. As more people learned about the ancient redwood forests and the danger they were in, more people spoke up and said cutting down the forest was not right. This put a lot of pressure on the lumber company to do the right thing. Julia was able to come down out of Luna once the lumber company agreed not to cut Luna down. They also agreed to not cut down any trees for 3 acres around her. That's a lot of land and a lot of ancient redwood trees that Julia Butterfly Hill saved. Julia stood up for what she believed was right, and she made a big difference in this world.